I'm Michelle Rathgaber. I'm the Educational Outreach Coordinator at the Arkansas Archaeological Survey. If I look vaguely familiar to you, it's because I did a series of lab work videos on this YouTube channel a couple of years ago. I took you through kind of the process of archaeological lab work, all the way from getting the artifacts out of the field and washing them, through analysis of all the different subcategories of artifact types that we had out in eastern Arkansas where I was working. Now I do educational outreach, so I get to do that as well as so many other things working with students and the public all over Arkansas. And this new series that we're starting is going to be about Plum Bayou Mounds Archaeological State Park and the associated Plum Bayou culture. I'm really excited to do it because we are going to be doing our annual training program down at Plum Bayou Mounds Archaeological State Park this summer in June. And there's been so much work at that park and the associated culture already, but there's still so much that we don't know. And so we're gonna go through videos all the way up until June. I'm gonna read books and articles and stuff and tell you what I'm learning. And I'm also gonna talk to Dr. Paige Ford, who is our station archaeologist at Plum Bayou Mounds Archaeological State Park. We'll take some tours of the park itself. We will talk to other experts if we need to. I'm hoping to really get a good handle on what we already know and also what we don't know and why we still want to find out more. And you might be thinking, I have never heard of Plum Bayou Mounds Archaeological State Park. Where is that? And actually, and confusingly, it is also known or formerly known as Toltec Mounds Archaeological State Park. And so the name Toltec is kind of just a leftover remnant, confusing remnant from when settlers first came to that region of Arkansas. They saw these big mounds, they happened to know of the Toltec culture in Mexico and just assumed it must have been the same people. And so they named it Toltec. It also went by the name Knapp Mounds at one point because the Knapp family lived there. So it's changed names before. But in 2022, state parks officially, in the state of Arkansas, officially changed the name to Plum Bayou Mounds Archaeological State Park because the Plum Bayou culture are the people who built the mounds there. And when I say they were called that, archaeologists call them that. We don't know what those people called themselves. We know that their descendants are the Quapaw Nation. They live currently in Oklahoma as a nation. Native American people live in Arkansas as well, of course, and all over the country and the world. But the Plum Bayou culture is the woodland period culture, the people that built Plum Bayou Mounds. And so we have lots of research already about this site. This is a book published in 2012 by Dr. Martha Rollingson, who was our station archaeologist at the park for a really long time, did a ton of research, had a ton of students who wrote really good research papers, publications, books about the site. This is kind of the compilation of all that we knew as of 2012 when Dr. Rollingson retired. And so we know a lot. This is a pretty big book. If you want to read this book, you can buy it on the Archaeological Survey's website. Go to the publications section and you can find it. We know a lot, but we don't know everything. And part of that is because a lot of our research has been done at the state park because it's owned by the state, so it's easy to get access to. We have an archaeologist right there to do things. And if any dirt ever does need to be moved on the site because of something going on at the park, some kind of construction or something, we can use that as an opportunity to look underground sometimes as well. So we have a lot of information, but the information we have is that people didn't really live at this site. They used it for ceremonial purposes, they used it for gatherings, but we don't have very much data about where the Plum Bayou culture people lived, or how they lived, or how they built their houses, or what they were doing day to day. And so part of what Dr. Ford wants to look at this summer is another site nearby that will hopefully tell us how people were living during this time period, so we can know what people were doing at this site, this special site, but also what people were doing in their day-to-day lives. And so this is kind of the main book I'm going to be pulling from, but like I said, there's lots of other places. There is an article on the Encyclopedia of Arkansas if you just want a really free resource. It's easy to get. There are a lot of other books. This one is from 1998, and it is Toltec Mounds and the Plum Bayou Culture. So already we were calling the people Plum Bayou people and still calling it Toltec. It kind of took a lot of momentum to get that name changed, but archaeologists were already using a different term for the people back in 1998 and even further back than that. So there's been tons of research done on this site. I'm excited to go through and read about it. I know some. I've been in Arkansas for about almost 14 years, so I've been there. I know something about the site, but I've never fully read and digested this book, the big one, the 2012. So I'm excited to read it. I'm excited to go and talk to Dr. Ford, find out what the plan is, the details of the plan for this summer, find out what we already know as we kind of walk around the site with her, maybe do some videos like that. And I'm excited to know what you want to know. If you're gonna follow along, I'm hoping to put up a video once every week or two from now until June. So if you wanna comment on these videos or comment on our posts on social media and let me know what you're wondering, what questions we can try to answer. If I don't have the answer and the book doesn't have the answer, we will look for someone who might have the answer. And if no one has the answer, that might just be something we need to research in the future. So I'm excited for this. I hope you're excited for this. I want to keep these videos fairly short so that we're not bogging you down for hours. 5-10 minutes I think is probably plenty. So we'll kind of go after some targeted questions. We'll go through the book, hopefully chapter by chapter, so we can get a little bit of good information, a little bit of discussion maybe about it, without making it too long and too tedious with too many, details and things that we won't remember. So I hope this is a good prep for our summer training program. We invite volunteers to come out and help with that. If you're interested in that, check out the Arkansas Archeological Society's website. We will have limited registration this year because we're going to be in a state park with a big kind of city fairly close. We can only train so many people with the staff and the trained volunteers that we already have. So if you're interested in participating, make sure you are keeping track of that so you can sign up early and get there. And even if you don't want to sign up and be officially enrolled in the program, you can still come out and visit during the weeks that we're there. We'll be there in early June. And we'll talk more about those kind of details as we get closer. But I hope you're excited. I'm excited. Get your copy of the book if you want to follow along. And I will see you here on YouTube every couple of weeks for the next couple of months. And then hopefully I will see you at Plum Bayou Mounds Archaeological State Park in June for the training program. All right, I'll see you in a week or two. Bye.